Hi, my name is Patrick Desjardins. In this episode, you will see some use cases where any can potentially be employed. As we saw in the previous video about any, we must use it with caution because it differs errors at runtimes instead of design time. However, there are scenarios where the data is really not known and can be anything. The three cases that we will see today are return from an API, forcing a cast, and an array of many types. The first case is from an API. You call the REST API with a structure, but the framework you use does not know about it. Hence, return the response into an any type. You can from there decide what you want to do. The most diligent action is to hurry to set the type into the expected one. We will see in another episode more about casting, but for the moment, we inherit from a code that is giving us an any. Hence, we need to deal with it. The second case is to force a cast. TypeScript allows passing from a less strict type into a stricter type. For example, it is possible to cast any to a string, but not a string to a number. However, when needed, we can convert to any and then the desired type. For example, let's have a number variable, and for some reason, you need to pass the string. TypeScript will not let you pass the variable, either cast it to a string, because it is an invalid cast. But it is possible to cast to any, and then cast to the desired type. The result in that particular case is wrong. While the type might be erroneously a string, it will print a number at runtime. A more realistic example is when a structure object has many required fields, but you have partially the information or even more properties than needed. While other patterns might be better, like having the structure divided into many interfaces, casting to this desired type with a partial part of an object can save you some time. The example shows that we can cast to any, then we can cast to the desired type. It will work even if we give more information and miss some others. Casting directly in the kind will not, because of the additional property that TypeScript knows does not belong to the casted type. Again, beware of using any for this kind of issue. The data ID2 is really part of the object, even though the cast back to my object removes from access at design time. At runtime, it does have the value. A third case is when you need a list with many types. Once again, there are many patterns like using generic that is better than using any, but it works if you need to store many different things for a quick job. A list of any can suit you. The example shows that you can set a string, a number, and a boolean. TypeScript compiles the code and the data is yours into a dangerous format. To conclude, using any should not be the first reflex, but an option in your tool belt when you need to perform something temporarily. Also, the main reason to keep any around is when coming from JavaScript. While starting typing, you can keep the untyped type around and migrate progressively. When a type is required and not yet defined in an interface, you can use any. So here we are again. We are at a fork where you need to make a decision. Would you like to learn about TypeScript configuration, no implicit any, or learn the difference between explicit versus implicit declaration? Regardless of your choice, it is a good one because it is your choice. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe. See you soon.